Welcome to the channel Smart Farm Insight. Across the lush tropical lowlands, endless rows of green banana plants sway under the warm sun. Bananas, one of the world's most consumed fruits, are a symbol of tropical abundance, nourishment, and resilience. Every year, millions of tons of bananas are harvested and shipped across continents. But behind each bunch lies a remarkable journey, from planting and nurturing the crop to careful harvesting, packaging, and export. Today we'll follow the full process of banana cultivation and production. A story that begins deep in the soil and ends on dining tables around the world. The journey starts with fertile land. They grow best in rich, well-drained loamy soil with a slightly acidic pH around 6.0 to 6.5. Before planting, the land is plowed deeply to loosen the soil and remove weeds. Organic compost, animal manure, and sometimes wood ash are added to enrich nutrients. Farmers design drainage channels along the rows to prevent waterlogging. In large plantations, irrigation pipes are installed to ensure a consistent water supply throughout the growing season. Bananas are not grown from seeds, but from suckers, or tissue-cultured plantlets, small offshoots taken from mature banana plants. These are carefully selected for uniformity, disease resistance, and high yield. Before planting, suckers are trimmed and dipped in a mild fungicide solution to prevent infection. Planting pits about 45-60 centimeters deep are dug, spaced 2-3 meters apart, depending on the variety. Each sucker is planted upright and covered gently with soil. Within a few weeks, new green shoots emerge. The plantation transforms from bare soil into neat rows of young banana plants reaching toward the sunlight. From this point, the banana plant begins its steady growth cycle. Bananas are fast-growing. Some varieties can reach full height in less than a year. Each plant needs regular irrigation, particularly during dry seasons. Many modern farms use drip or sprinkler systems, which provide steady moisture without water. Farmers use organic compost combined with potassium-rich fertilizers to support leaf and fruit development. Weeding and pest control are essential, as the plants are vulnerable to nematodes, aphids, and fungal diseases like Panama wilt. To protect the plantation naturally, many farms now adopt biological pest management, introducing beneficial insects and using organic sprays instead of harsh chemicals. As the plant matures, workers remove older leaves and extra suckers so that the main stem, called the pseudostem, receives all the nutrients it needs. This careful management ensures that each plant will produce one large, healthy bunch. After about 7-9 months, a thick purple flower, called the banana heart, begins to emerge from the top of the plant. It hangs downward as layer after layer of small white flowers unfold. Pollination in bananas is not necessary since most commercial varieties are seedless and develop through natural parthenocarpy. During this stage, farmers often remove the lower male flowers and dead leaves to improve air circulation and prevent disease. They also cover the growing bunches with blue plastic bags or protective sleeves, not just to shield them from insects and sunburn, but also to regulate temperature and promote even ripening. Over the next 2 to 3 months, the small green fingers grow rapidly into full-sized bananas. When the bananas reach the right size and color, still green but fully formed, it's time to harvest. Bananas are always harvested before they ripen, to allow safe transportation and controlled ripening later. Banana harvesting is a team effort requiring strength and coordination. Workers use sharp knives or machetes to cut the bunch from the plant, which can weigh 20 to 50 kilograms. One worker supports the bunch on his shoulder, while another cuts the stem, preventing the heavy fruit from falling and bruising. After cutting, the bunches are carried to collection points or hung on overhead cables that transport them gently to packing stations. The remaining pseudostem is cut down and left on the ground to decompose. The bright green bananas are now ready for the next stage: preparation and packing. At the packing area, each banana bunch is carefully washed to remove latex, dirt, and insects. The bunch is cut into smaller units called hands, usually containing 5 to 8 fingers each. The hands are soaked in large water tanks, mixed with mild disinfectant to prevent staining and bacterial growth. Workers inspect them by hand, removing any damaged or undersized fruit. Next comes grading. Bananas are sorted by length, curvature, and uniformity. The best ones are selected for export. The bananas are gently packed into corrugated boxes, lined with soft padding to avoid bruising. Each box typically weighs around 13 to 18 kilograms and includes ventilation holes for air circulation, while smaller or misshapen ones are sold in local markets or used for processed products. After harvest, green bananas are transported directly to the processing plant. At the plant, the bananas are washed and peeled. Workers quickly remove the thick skin, ensuring the bananas are clean and undamaged. Only firm, high-quality bananas are selected. Next, the peeled bananas are transferred to the slicing section, where high-speed rotating blades cut the bananas into thin and transferred to the fryer. The frying stage is where the real magic happens. Continuous fryers filled with hot vegetable oil that is kept at around 180 degrees. In just a few minutes, the moisture evaporates, and each banana slice turns golden brown and crispy. The chips are removed, and the excess oil is removed using an air blower or rotary dryer. While still warm, they are transferred to a seasoning vat for seasoning. Depending on the recipe, once cooled, the chips are quality checked, then transferred to an automated packaging line. A precision weigher divides the chips into 50, 100, or 200-gram bags. A heat sealer seals each bag to keep out air and moisture, keeping the chips crispy for months. The finished bags are then labeled, boxed, and ready for distribution to supermarkets and export markets around the world. From here, the bananas begin their journey to global markets. Refrigerated trucks transport the boxes to ports, where they are loaded onto ships inside temperature-controlled containers. From a small sucker planted in the soil to a bunch shipped across oceans, the banana's journey is a story of care, patience, and innovation. It's the story of farmers who wake before sunrise, working in humid fields to nurture each plant, of workers who harvest with precision, pack with care, and ensure the world receives this humble, yet extraordinary fruit. Every banana carries within it the essence of the tropics, sunlight, rain, and human effort combined. Every year, hundreds of millions of liters of apple juice are produced worldwide, transforming the humble apple into a refreshing drink enjoyed by millions. Yet behind every bottle lies a story of precision, scale, and the remarkable intersection of agriculture and modern industry. This is the journey of apple juice, from orchards heavy with fruit to gleaming bottles ready for supermarket shelves. The journey of every apple begins with the soil. Farmers first choose land with cool winters and mild summers, perfect for apple trees to grow strong and sweet. The ground is plowed, leveled, and mixed with compost or organic manure to enrich nutrients. Irrigation systems, often drip lines, are installed before planting to save water and deliver it directly to the roots. Rows are laid out in straight lines to ensure sunlight and airflow. Planting usually takes place in early spring or autumn. Each tree is placed in a half-meter deep hole, spaced about 3 to 4 meters apart. After covering with soil, the young tree is tied to a stake to help it grow upright. In the first year, the focus is on root development. Farmers water regularly and prune weak shoots so that energy goes into building a strong trunk and branch structure. Farmers monitor soil moisture and add organic fertilizers to promote leaf and flower growth. Pruning is done every season, removing overcrowded or dead branches. This helps light and air reach the inner canopy, which improves fruit color and reduces disease risk. In early spring, the orchard bursts into color. Thousands of pink and white blossoms cover the trees, a sight that signals the start of fruit formation. Bees play an essential role in pollination, moving pollen from flower to flower. Many farmers keep beehives in their orchards to increase yields naturally. Once pollinated, the flowers fall, leaving behind tiny green fruits that will grow into apples over the next few months. During summer, farmers adjust irrigation carefully, just enough to keep the soil moist without drowning the roots. Excess fruit is thinned by hand, leaving only the best apples on each branch. Leaves are trimmed to expose the apples to sunlight, which deepens their color and builds natural sugar. Over time, the fruit changes from small green spheres to rich shades of red, yellow, or green, depending on the variety. By late summer to autumn, the orchard is full of ripe, glossy apples. Farmers test the fruit for sugar levels and firmness to determine the best picking time. Harvesting is mostly done by hand, with workers gently twisting each apple off the branch to avoid bruising. The apples are placed carefully into padded crates. And there is another way to collect faster than using machines. Apples are gathered on a scale that demands speed and efficiency. Mechanical harvesters dominate the process. One particularly ingenious machine, known as a tree shaker, uses hydraulic arms to clamp onto the trunk and vibrate with controlled force. Within seconds, dozens of apples rain down into waiting nets or conveyor systems. Each tree can yield up to 60 kilograms of fruit in a matter of moments, a harvest that once took hours by hand. For large-scale operations, these machines can collect more than 100 tons of apples in a single day. Imagine an orchard alive with the constant hum of engines, the rhythmic shaking of trees, and the sound of thousands of apples cascading like a metallic rainfall. It is both industrial and strangely natural, a mechanical dance designed to capture ripeness at its peak. Once harvested, time becomes critical. Apples destined for juice must reach the processing plant quickly to preserve freshness and prevent spoilage. Logistics teams coordinate fleets of trucks, each carrying tons of fruit, moving continuously between farms and factories. Within just 24 hours of leaving the orchard, most apples are already entering the first stage of production. The arrival at the factory marks a dramatic shift in environment. The open fields give way to conveyor belts, steel tanks, and carefully controlled conditions. To engineered product begins. The first hurdle is cleanliness. Apples arrive with leaves, twigs, dust, and sometimes the odd insects still clinging to their skins. Factories cannot take chances. Massive water channels, often carrying more than 90 tons of recycled water in constant circulation. After the rough wash, apples pass through rotating brushes and rollers, which scrub away remaining dirt while high-pressure sprays finish the cleaning. But not all apples are equal. Grading machines equipped with cameras and sensors now evaluate them by size, color, and ripeness. Table-grade fruit might be diverted for fresh consumption, while only those meeting the juice criteria move forward. Apples are about to undergo a dramatic change, one that will strip them of skin, pulp, and seed, leaving only their liquid essence. the next stage begins, breaking them down into a form that will surrender their liquid. And once they are pureed, the juicer is ready to move on to the next step. They are then filtered again to remove the residue. The final stage is bottling. After the bottles are thoroughly cleaned, the juice is carefully filled into them, then sealed, labeled, and prepared for packaging and export. And this is the journey of growing and harvesting apple trees by dedicated farmers before they go through the factory's processing stages to bring their rich, delicious flavors to every home. If you find this video interesting, please like and subscribe to the channel to support